Hello and welcome to today's historic best of 3 deck tech and gameplay video on Unexpected Results. Unexpected Results is the name of the deck because it is pretty much entirely all in on unexpected results. Which basically says to shuffle your library, reveal the top card. If it's a non-land, play it for free. If it's a land card, put it onto the field, bounce the results to your hand so you have another go at the slot machine. Because that is basically what this deck is. It's a slot machine, very best of one style deck that is looking to cheat in big scary things, and with that mana cheating and the tempo gain from gaining 3-4 plus turns ahead basically of your opponent, you play the big scary thing, apply pressure, and hope to end the game. Don't get too married to the particular big scary things that I'm running, both in the main board and in the sideboard. Just run big. Just run big scary things that you like, that you have in your collection, that you think are good things to cheat into play. But beyond the unexpected results and the things we want to cheat into play, we just have general glue cards that are at their core all ways to dig into our deck and look as deep as we can to make sure we can, as reliably as possible, play an unexpected results on curve and then play, again, the big scary things for free. All we're trying to do is, with the front half, is get to the unexpected results as reliably as we can. We're trying to expect the unexpected, one could say. That is all for the main list. Land base is pretty self-explanatory. It is at its core a base blue-green deck that splashes a little bit for black. So as long as the deck in your collection allows you to, create a base blue-green deck that splashes a little bit for black, don't get married, much like to the big scary things that I have here, don't get married too much to the particular cards. You're going more so for the idea in this case. In this case, that idea being able to splash for a couple black cards, but being able to play your base blue-green deck. The sideboard is sort of half and half, pretty self-explanatory cards, and big things we want to cheat into play with an unexpected results. We'll go into the pretty self-explanatory half first. Scavenging Ooze is for Graveyard Hate. Tainted Remedy for Life Gain Hate. Fade from History is a sweeper for artifacts and enchantments, since there are loads of affinity decks. Not loads. There are a good amount of affinity decks and, enchantments, solemnity. Basically, there's loads of artifacts and enchantments floating around that you'd love to sweep. And Fade from History lets you do that. The latter half of the deck, the latter half of the sideboard of the deck, are all things we want to cheat into play with unexpected results for various effects. We're going to talk about Omniscience first. Not only is it a great thing to cheat into play, you can therefore then afterwards play all the things for free and generally pop off. Omniscience also can function as a sort of backup kind of copy of unexpected results if your opponent is very clearly going to have answers to the results. You can bring in a couple of Omnisciences to give you kind of an extra 2 copies of what the result wants to do, if that makes sense. We have Jin-Gitaxias to damage our opponent's hands, another Vorinclex to damage our opponent's land base. We can also, if we resolve it, generally cast our big scary things for free. Not for free. We can cast our big scary things fairly with Vorinclex's doubling of your mana. Overwhelming Forces and River's Rebuke are one-sided sweepers that we can cast for free off of, again, our unexpected results. Titan of Industry is a good sort of Swiss Army knife of a thing to cheat into. We can destroy artifacts and enchantments if we need to. We can gain life. We can put shield counters. It's just a good all-around thing to cheat into play, but not so good that it's, for me, main deckable. But again, you do you when it comes to your cheating things. I also have a single Akroma's Memorial, since there are, in my experience, a lot of Rakdos good stuff kind of decks floating around, and it's nice to be able to sometimes cheat into a card that just turns off an entire deck, which is nice. I'm going to talk about this here before we go on to our first game. When it comes to the big scary things to cheat into play, in the sideboard, it's much like the main deck. Don't worry about the particular cards in question. look at your collection and what your collection has and what cards you like and you think you would want to cheat into play that are pretty impactful, and then sort of adjust accordingly. Now, you could argue the more generic sideboard cards are a little more required, but in terms of the big scary things, do what your collection allows you to do. But anywho, without very long-winded deck tech out of the way, we'll go on now to game number 1. Before we do, don't forget to like the video if we like it. Or sorry, to like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future. And if you have any sort of questions like I don't have X, what about Y, or other generally nice and or constructive comments, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below, and I'll do what I can to respond to what I see. Now, finally, on to game number 1. And game number 1 with our little unexpected results list. Opponent goes first, totally fine. Great that we have an unexpected results, but it's a one-lander, so it's a pretty obvious throwback. Honestly. Yeah, we're cool with that. Keep these. I guess we can throw back the trophy, since we don't know if we're going to need to remove that much. A Yoreen list. Okay. In that case, we'll play a Triome on 1. Planar Genesis will hopefully allow us to either cast an unexpected results on turn 3, or just find another copy of the results. Up the beanstalk. Okay. Pretty cool. We will do the breeding pool, paying the 2 life, and we're just going to do the Planar Genesis now. We're not that particular. Go ahead and put a land into play, so that next turn on turn 3, if they don't have a counterspell, which is granted a big ask, hey goofball, we'll be able to play the unexpected results. I don't know. I mean, they're clearly running some up the beanstalk, Yorian sort of flickery thing. Honestly, if our unexpected results gets countered, it's gonna suck, but we have to try. It's the whole thing the deck's trying to do. If it gets countered, it gets countered. What are you gonna do? That's fine. While it does suck that our thing got canceled, or countered, sorry, they're not progressing their board. So, yeah, we didn't do anything, but they also didn't get a chance to do anything, because they clearly want to sort of abuse the up the beanstalk value, for lack of a better word. Guess we'll play a Triumph, since we can't... Well, hang on. We'll do a breeding pool. And we'll put it into play untapped, since if we find a land off the unexpected results, hopefully we'll be able to play a Planar Genesis off of the land in question. And maybe if they have some sort of, like, counterspell that only needs me to pay 1. What's the fucking Amonkhet one that cycles? Like Censor, I think is the name of the card, but whatever. Like a mana drain effect, and not a strict outright counter. Doing a Fabled Passage probably has some sort of interaction, which is fine. Again, oh, okay, Shark Typhoon. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Champion of Wits isn't great, but again, anything to just dig deeper for subsequent copies is we're happy. World Spine can go back since it goes back in the deck anyway. We'll do a Triome. That's fine. And this is one of those, like, you know, like we sort of talked about in the deck tech. The deck is, at its core, basically one big slot machine. Sorry, what? Ill-timed Explosion. Draw 2 cards. You may discard 2 cards. When you do, this card deals X damage to each creature, where X is the greatest mana value among cards discarded this way. Cool. I think we do a Planar Genesis first. Comes into play tapped anyway. Might as well. Keep looking with another Planar Genesis. Honestly, we're kind of getting to a point where we might just play the Vorinclex quote-unquote fairly. So we're just going to start walking our way towards a Vorinclex. Hopefully we get there. I would say we didn't get lucky, but we did. We have cast 2 unexpected results. They just happen to have counterspells. Sorry, what is that card? What is their list? Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Exile non-land card. If you do, it becomes plotted. Put the rest into your... Cool. What the fuck is their list? Oh, when you cast a spell. Okay, I thought it was only creatures, but it's any spell with 5 mana. Okay. That's more interesting. C double. The spell can't be copied. Choose one, and if opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, you may choose both instead. Copy target spell, create a token that's a copy of target creature. Cool. That's cool. I guess we can do the Courser. If they want to counter a Courser or Crew Fix, that's fine. We're hoping they kind of do, because I don't want them to copy a spell or make a token that's a copy of a Vorinclex. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead. I don't care about that. Oh, well. Zagoth Triumph. Okay, we are officially out of the turns where we're, like, realistically cheating anything into play here. So now we're just sort of hoping to play the cards in question fairly. The list is still all over the goddamn place. Like, good on him, I guess. Copy target spell. It'd be kind of hilarious if we both have Vorinclexes. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. Okay, opponent. I think they've forgotten they have a plotted card here. To be fair, I've done that too. Okay, it's 4 mana. Cool, I guess. Okay, our opponent's deck is clearly one of those generically good piles of cards kind of thing. Ooh, don't do that. Just, again, a fine thing to do. Perfectly reasonable. I just find it boring. So, odds are they're getting a Vorinclex one way or another, which is fucking hilarious. But we're just gonna die before any of this matters. Yeah, that's cool. Bring out the Vorinclex. I'll run this game out, but it's not looking great. Alright, opponent. Now we wait. Don't attack. Hopefully we can gain some more life, that we're not just going to die to their various dirtily flyers. That's fine.
I am not defenseless.
Ill-timed explosion. This is a good showing of why Vorinclex is in here, because even if you can't cheat things into play with the unexpected results, I mean, you can slow down your opponent's future turns. That's fine. Another one. What is that card exactly? 2 damage, creature or walker, spells bargain 3 instead, and you scry 1. And it would cool. The deck is all over the goddamn place. We've probably lost. There's not really a whole lot we do here. Yeah, okay. I'll keep it going, but by all accounts, the game's over. We've missed the window, for lack of a better term. And that's fine. It's one of those, with a deck like this, Every time you pull the arm of the slot machine, you accept that you're gonna, lose sometime. Or you're not gonna win, some should say. Oh my god, opponent, please. Thank you. My god. Is there any way I live? Okay, our opponent's taking forever. The game's lost. I don't have the patience to keep doing this. Take the win. Me no care. Let's see. They do like to have a lot of cards. Jin Kataxis would be cool. They're running colors that have ways to deal with my unexpected results, so I think Omniscience is going to come in. Maybe another Vorinclex, in case we happen to brick, because they're countering our spells all the time. They aren't running that many... Maybe like... We go... Maybe down... Ugin down, Gear Hulk down. We gotta lose 2 more cards. Honestly, the World Spine Worm and the Darksteel Colossus are just less good in games 2 and 3. Because, especially since they... Well, let me rephrase that. They're worse in games 2 and 3, in theory, once they've seen that they're in there. And, like, the shock factor's kind of gone, so you can more easily justify taking out a copy or 2 of them and bringing in, again, whatever big scary thing that you have in the sideboard that you want to bring in. I will have to be honest, this deck has not been the best, like, performance-wise, but it's been a good amount of fun. And that's fine with me. If you're, like, a real spike kind of player, you're not going to have a good time with this list. You're just not. That's fine. 2 landers. Hopefully we'll get there with the rest of the hand to get to an unexpected result. If we draw a land, basically, that we can play a Champion of Wits, and again, keep digging and looking. Odds are we're going to get there. Feeling pretty good. Granted, having 1 Darksteel in our hand kind of sucks, but as you can see, we're going to throw it away back into the graveyard and then our deck, ultimately. With the Champion of Wits, so it's sort of free to discard. Come on, opponent. Any Secondo now. Because I know clearly they've probably meant to pass in their head, but the game doesn't know that. It's one of those weird moments where paper Magic works a little cleaner than digital. Because you could just say pass the turn and the turn just passes. Arena has to give you the opportunity for any given, point of priority that you could have. Doesn't make it less annoying when... There we go. It's just like taking for goddamn ever. But that's fine. That... Yeah, we'll play the Forest. Do a Champion of Wits. Thankfully, we get to draw first. The Darksteel's going back probably regardless. I was about to say, you don't counter the champion here. You counter the thing I draw into. We draw. Okay, in that case, that makes this a little easier. We can throw back a Darksteel and a Triome. Yeah, that's fine. The reason why I was in the tank so much is that there's an argument to take the turn off and play the Triome so we can play Assemble the Team and look for subsequent copies of unexpected results. But we already have 2, so just the odds of finding additional copies are lesser. But if we only had 1 copy or no copy, I would have taken the turn off to set up and assemble the team kind of thing to look for them. But we should be okay. They have their shields are down, in theory, besides the one. Is it Pact of Negation is the free counterspell, and then you gotta pay 5? I think is basically I think it's the only free counterspell, air quotes free counterspell in the format. But by and large, their shields are down. Play the unexpected result and hope to God we hit. That is not a hit. That helps, though. Yeah, we'll get the swamp. That's fine. Ended up getting to a place where we can cast Assemble the Team anyway next turn, which is nice. So next turn we can play a land, play and Assemble the Team first, maybe get them to bait out some counterspell because they think I'm digging for another results. And even if they don't counter it and they counter the results, again, if we can get some degree of deeper and look for more of them, that's what the deck is trying to do at its core. To be honest, even if they flip their Tamiyo again, I kind of don't care. They could spend the majority of their turn, I was about to say the majority of their turn answering it, but they did pass with 5 mana up and 3 of which are blue. So yeah, we'll do a Waterlogged Grave, Assemble the Team first, see if they're going to counter it. Maybe they think I'm like particularly desperate and going like looking real deep. Which, to be fair, in their defense, is a entirely sound decision to make. They just don't know that I have it, if that makes sense. Of course, it could just be clue token priority, which isn't great if it is. But again, we're just trying to set up a slot machine pool. Fucking who knows? If we're going to be honest here. Any secondo opponent. There's a timeout. Da-na-na-na-na. Angie Cake Man. Oh shit, they did counter it. Yeah, counter it, that's fine. Unexpected results, baby, let's go! Granted, they could have another one, and that'd suck. Yeah. Oh well, what are you gonna do? We have, again, probably lost the game. They just have counterspells. Yeah, what are you gonna do? You could arguably run like a Chameel, the Inner Sun, if you were really scared about this. Which is an option, and if, say, you don't want to run like an Akroma's Memorial or something, and you want to run a Chameel or something like that. Again, this is one of those moments where you can tailor the things you cheat into. You can tailor those things more so to your experience on the ladder, whatever it happens to be, and at whatever, particular rank. Again, this deck is not gonna win many games, but if I can get you to try a fun little list and not be so goddamn concerned about winning all the time and fucking give me more, that shit, if I can, get you to have a little more fun and just relax a little bit, I'm happy with that. I'll take that. I have to be honest, my opponent is kind of testing that patience and that ability to be cool because they're taking for fucking ever. Thank you. My god. Well, the Darksteel's not the most helpful. Play the Triome. Although, again, we can play Assemble the Team. Maybe we find... That's a good sign. Maybe we find another results. I think there's only, what, 1 left? There's 2 left, sorry. My brain's starting to melt. When my aggressive player brain is forced to slow down a little bit. Unexpected results. There are 1 mana counterspells that are conditional. If they have it, they have it. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna suck if they have it. But if they have it, they got it. Spell Pierce. I'm pretty sure there's like a Lord of the Rings one that counters like just instants or sorceries. Could be like a Swan Song or one of those style cards. Okay. That's not great, but if it gives me another look, sure. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Okay. What are they holding on to for 1 green or blue? We're on the lands now. Honestly, Ugin's not the worst thing. We're at the stage now where we're just going to have to start trying to, like, play the big scary things, quote, fairly. And we're at 7 mana. If we draw a land, we're doing good. And most non-lands will, in our deck, will get us further to either another results or lands. Again, we sort of missed the window to do the big flashy fun thing, and now we just gotta try and play this weird like ramp list that's like outside of the window, for lack of a better term, and that's fine. It's 3 cards drawn in a turn, right? Oh yeah, okay. Draw 3 cards. If they crack it immediately, which they don't, right? Beginning of end step. Oh no, this is when you draw your 3rd in a turn. Okay. That's more lands, and again, just helps us find things. Oh my god. Please. My red player aggro brain is melting. Again, anything we find off the top, if nothing else, we gain information. Granted, with a Corsair Crew fix, they also gain the information, which you could argue is a downside, but really, the moment you see either an unexpected results or a big card like a Dark Steel or an Ugin, like or really a Dark Steel or a World Spine Worm, once you see one of those 2 cards, like, you know something is fucky anyway. World Spine is a card that resolves. How much does that flip loyalty-wise with? Flips with 2. I mean, that's fine. Thank you, please, for the love of God. Yeah. The deck's doing good. I'm sorry, I didn't even see... Fuck, what? Which one's that? Typical leyline thing. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery, the target's only a single creature you control. Pay 1. If you do, copy it. Choose new top. Choose new targets for the copies. Cool.
Plan? Fire doesn't need a plan.
I mean... Okay, if he down ticks... You can't get rid of them both. I think that if I can manage to resolve this, starts at 7, I think I'm just going to down tick an Ugin and sweep their whole board and just hopefully get there. I probably don't resolve this, if we're being honest. They had, like, disdainful strokes. So, this is a great card that you stroke. Sounds weird. But it's a great card you counter. That's a better way to word that. But it's probably getting countered.
Fight with your heart.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have to copy it? You may. Okay, never mind. I was like, maybe they... Yeah, that's right. You just counter the same thing twice. Okay, we're not technically dead. We're just mostly dead. If nothing else, we can always cast a Champion of Wits, or we can eternalize a Champion of Wits and throw back the big scary things and hopefully draw something more useful.
They won't know what hit 'em.
Their list is, like, kind of cute, but it's, like, a little fucking all over the place here. Unless there's, like, some big scary thing in Teamer that you're ramping into that I can't think of, which is, granted, possible. Cool.
No plan, no problem.
Which one is that? Exile top 5 until your next turn. Okay, so they have access to that. Honestly, even more reason to... Yeah, even more reason to just play the Wits. Well, hang on, let's see. 1, 2, 3... 6, 8. We can only go to 9 even if we get lucky. So we're far away from casting the big scary things anyway. So, yeah. Play the wits. Or the champion of wits here. Maybe... Hang on, what's upticks? 2 manas. Thank you. Why are we... Weird to crack it now, but sure. Drawing 4. Discarding 2. And because they're both put into the graveyard from anywhere they go... Sorry, once they're put into the graveyard from anywhere, they both go back into my deck, thus retaining them as options. My god, dude. Please. Oh my god, my brain. So yeah, but this is one of those, regardless of how this game goes, you've now seen the bit, for lack of a better word. You know exactly what the deck is trying to do. Sometimes you get lucky and, you know, you hit what you need to hit, and sometimes you don't. But again, still a pretty fun list. Okay, they're ramping a lot, but like, what are they ramping into? Like, just have a big, like, scary fuck-off Banefire turn or something. Cool, you're drawing a lot of cards. Unironically, there's a real chance I just win from like them timing out, which would be fucking hilarious. Cool, yeah, copying spells and extra value. Fucking where's the end? You know? Like, I get it. Like, I get all of that. I 1000% get why what you're doing is good. I don't even debate that bit. There's a real chance they even just fucking deck themselves, unless I'm missing something. Although they have blue and green, both of which are cards that can, like, reshuffle things back into their graveyard. Cool. Certainly a lot of cards. Yo, I'm gonna Fable Passage and get another land out, increasing the consistency of my deck. Cool. You know, Just waiting for the payoff. This is really arguably the only reason why I've stuck around, because they're like, it sounds almost counterintuitive. They're doing a lot, and yet oh, hang on, there's a Jinkataxius. I saw that. Artifact, instant sorcery, copy the spell, cast. So it's like, cool. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This should be Omniscience mana, right? Yeah. Okay, granted, if they have a counter... Hang on. Okay. You can only... Okay, I forgot plotting only lets you cast it as a sorcery, so I was, like, real scared for no reason. I forgot that it what's the word? It overwrites what the card's native speed is. Because, to be honest, before today, I've never seen this card ever. I don't even think I've opened the damn thing, to give a reference here. I guess we start playing cards for free. Play for free. That's fine. 34 cards in deck. Doing good. Discard some lands I don't need. Big scary card. Big scary turn. Get rid of... Well... Hang on. X damage, 2 targets. We're still alive, though. It's not great. But we've done the big scary thing in a weird roundabout way. They have a Jinkataxius, so they can play for free. They can copy some of these things. Though you can't copy like a Jinkataxius because it's legendary. And they don't have those kind of things. Why would you not... Oh, artifact instant sorcery. I'm waiting. So very clearly this is what they're like hoping to do is going to be, or like it's their big scary thing they're doing. But I've sort of, in a weirdly roundabout way, still sort of did what the deck wanted to do. Okay. Promise, then you're going to bounce, then we're bouncing that, and then doing that. This has probably lost us the game. But, like, dear fucking god, opponent. This is one of those where, like, our opponent's deck clearly is trying to... How do I word this? They're not trying to win. They're trying to make it to where I'm not... That they can't lose. They're not winning. Does that make sense? Okay, that's fine. I don't think there's mechanically anything I do to win here, because we see what's on top.
We can do this together.
Right? Okay, we attack with whole board as it stands now. Two biggest things on the board are 2 and a 4. You have 3 blockers. The minimum that gets through is 2 damage. Now, functionally, no damage is really going to get through here. Honestly, yeah, there's nothing I... Let me rephrase that. If for whatever reason they kill the Champion of Wits, and I can eternalize the champion, I think that is the only option I have in which I can, like, sort of turn this thing around. But they did not. Okay, hang on. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. I can turn on the Hall of Storm Giants. Be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4. Minimum damage is 2. Yeah, we're dead. My god, opponent. Jesus. Cool. You valued ad infinitum. Still, though, weirdly, the deck showed what the deck wanted to do, or is trying to do, even though it ended up in a loss. And to be fair, with these sort of slot machine style decks, you're gonna lose a good amount of them. It's like slot machines in real life. You never, I suppose, and gambling as a whole, you never go to make money or to do good. You go to have fun. And that's what the deck is trying to do. Like a slot machine. Have fun. Anywho, with this really goddamn long game out of the way, we'll go on to game number 2. With the caveat, if the next game takes for fucking ever like this one, I'll end it quicker. Anywho, on to that said game number 2. And game number 2 with our little unexpected results list. And as always, we play first because we have a brain. And honestly, this is a pretty good hand. It might seem like not great ones because of the World Spine Worm and the Colossus, but like we showed in last game, I believe, we'll be able to cast the Champion of Wits and throw away the World Spine Worm and the Colossus, and because of their effects, they're going to both get shuffled back into my library and still remain as potential hits for a unexpected results if we happen to find it. Okay, they Goblin Hero Power, or Squee Hero Avatar, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Little Goblin Pet and Goblin Sleeves. I have actually gone against a couple of Goblin decks. Maybe it's not Goblins. But Goblin decks can be a bad time for this list since they're also trying to sort of pop off and do a big scary thing. And theirs is just a little more reliable, if we're being honest. Okay, maybe not. Oh well. Now the Champion of Wits is good. Allows us to dig even deeper. Hopefully we'll find an unexpected results here. That is not what we needed. Big scary things. Back you go. We might get lucky and draw into it naturally, which would be fantastic. So you are a goblins list. Are you like Gruul goblins? Interesting. We didn't draw into it naturally, which is unfortunate. Play another champion of wits. Honestly, we're pretty far from assemble the team. Well, yeah. Pretty far from assembling the team being useful. And we happen to, you know, not draw the the card for which the entire deck is named. So we could be in some rough times. Be in for rough times, I should say. We might have to get to a point where, again, we are casting our big scary things like normally. Okay, that's cute. Oh, I take that double block all day. Yeah, all day. Because we're probably dead because we've missed the thing. But yeah, that's such an easy block all day, every day. Yeah, if we're being on... Hey, there we go. Happen to draw into an unexpected results naturally. A little slower than we would like. One hits another, so we just try again. Courser, surprise, surprise, isn't it? Damn. That is almost certainly death, right? Now we're just chumping to not die, but I think we're dead. You play the Courser, sure. Okay, yeah, we were dead no matter what. Cool. And granted, I don't know if our opponent's doing like the Muxus style like angle, but like they're doing good. Things we're bringing in. Honestly, River's Rebuke, overwhelming odds. World Spy, Dark Stealer going back, because especially in a deck that can go sufficiently wide, there's a really, what's the word? A real possibility that they can actually summon enough of a board to actually just block and kill either one of the big things fair and square. Do I run anything else, though? Honestly, maybe we actually just go another World Spine and Dark Steel down for a couple Titans of Industry here. Ways to gain life and try and match their board as much as possible is the reason why we're bringing in the Titans here. Again, we go first. That's not really doable. That's better. To send back the most expensive thing. Hopefully find something useful. That's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Planar Genesis, finding me not what I need. Don't have any black sources. Honestly, I'd rather have another Planar Genesis and keep looking. Our opponent has shown an ability to like really pop off and be very dangerous with their Goblin deck. So I'd rather just try... I don't even want to really attempt to try and outfare them. Oh, that fucking sucks, doesn't it? That really, really sucks. I guess River's Rebuke, because we're closer to that. Really getting terribly unlucky. Ooh, Caporetti Rebels. That's pretty cool. Okay. Okay, we're not... We haven't, again... this time we haven't even drawn an unexpected result. We're not doing that great, but we're close to being able to cast a River's Rebuke fairly. It's not great. And with any luck, casting the River's Rebuke even fairly will buy us a turn or two to hopefully find something. That's fine. Honestly, I'm going to Assassin's Trophy away that Revels. That really scares me. They can take a land, that's fine. If they had like a Muxus, we were already going to be in trouble, basically, no matter what happened anyway. Because now they could just play a land and, like... shift enter. Yeah, if they have a land, they can play it and play a Muxus anyway. They weren't that far off of it. Heraldric Banner. I like their deck, though. Deck is pretty damn cool. The Woodland Champion's like a fantastic inclusion in Gruul Goblins. I love their list, actually. It's gonna really hurt them. Oh my god. This is... we die. 6, 10, 12. We're not dead. We're just... oh, we are dead. I can't cast River's Rebuke. Cool. Hang on. That's not true. We can sack a waterlogged grave and maybe get lucky. Yeah. That's really unfortunate. They won fair and square. There's an argument to be made that you don't need a lot of the, like, life total threatening lands that I have in the list. But we're already... again, the deck is very fun. I want to preface this before I say this. We're already a real slot machine Disneyland kind of, like, deck where we're really hoping that, like, we're gonna, you know, hit the lottery, basically. So if you die a couple turns earlier, if you don't, you know, if you don't hit the lottery, if you don't do the big scary thing, you were probably gonna lose anyway. Again, deck is still a lot of fun. How do I word this? Unless when you opened your Pioneer Masters packs, if you did, if you don't already own Unexpected Results, I would not personally waste my wildcards on it. If you already have it and you're looking to, you know, spend a day or two with a fun list that's like a palate cleanser from whatever you're doing already, then go ahead and run it. Don't waste your don't use your wild cards like I have. Let me sort of burn the wild cards on your behalf so you don't have to waste like a finite resource, basically. But anywho, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future. For example, this has been the first list in a long time, in a while that's been a real, like, slot machine Disneyland kind of thing. I don't have any more of those lined up. This was just a fun little deck to do every once in a while. But anywho, like, sub, comment, all that call to action shit. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.